Bonjour à tous les amis, on est à Madrid à l'association européenne des clubs, le CA, qui nous accueille pour sa journée de conférence avec le club Connect. Et je ne suis pas tout seul, on va mener une série d'interviews et j'ai le grand plaisir, c'est assez rare dans Hors-jeu qu'on ait un président, un dirigeant de club. On a monsieur Thiago Scuro, CIO, directeur général de l'AS Monaco, qui nous fait le plaisir d'avoir une petite interview avec nous. Comment allez-vous Thiago ?
Très bien, merci beaucoup.
On va faire l'interview en anglais, on va poser des questions à Thiago en français pour la compréhension, ce sera sous-titré, mais voilà, on a plein de choses à voir avec lui sur son rôle à l'ASM, sa perception voilà, de l'évolution de certains joueurs, on va parler évidemment de Mika Biereth, Akliouche, le projet monégasque au global et bien sûr un mot sur notre beau championnat. Thiago, vous êtes directeur général de l'AS Monaco depuis 1 an et demi. Quel premier bilan vous faites sur cette période?
First, learning a lot. Is a very great experience to come from a different country, a different league, having the opportunity to be in an organization like Monaco, very international in all directions. When you look to the number of fans we have all over the world, when you look 15 nationalities in the squad, a lot of international people working on the club as well. So learning a lot. I think also on these 18 months I was able to put some ideas already in place, especially on the football project, having clear vision on the way we want to play football, helping all the departments to work around this, having a very good cooperation and working partnership with Adi Hütter, our head coach, which is also very crucial. And on the business side, also developing a lot, like new sponsors, fans, taking Monaco back to Champions League was a big achievement this season. We could celebrate the 100 years anniversary of Avis Sur Monaco, hosting very big opponents at the Stade Louis II.
Quand vous parlez de cette envie d'améliorer le projet sur la partie sportive, quelles idées vous avez apportées? Parce qu'on sait que vous venez du Red Bull Bragantino au Brésil. Qu'est-ce que vous avez essayé de changer?
Well, I think like first it's not only about changing things, it's about checking what was doing well on the previous cycle, and always you have things going on in a good way, even though sometimes it doesn't produce the results you expect. Monaco finished the season before our arrival on 6th position. We had no European competition to face last year, which is not usual for a club like Monaco. So I think first we spend a lot of time on planning. Discussing how do we want to play, how can we train to play a football like this, which kind of players we need for that. The summer of 23 was, we had a lot of moves, replacing players that didn't fit to this kind of football, trying also to follow the strategy that our president guides to make Monaco successful inside the pitch and outside the pitch. So basically our main goal is to make Monaco a sustainable organization. And we are going on this direction, so clearly this makes ourselves very confident on what we are doing and for the future of the club as well.
Merci beaucoup. Je l'ai dit, vous venez du Red Bull Bragantino au Brésil, le groupe Red Bull. Est-ce que vous pouvez nous dire un petit peu quel était votre rôle là-bas, quelles étaient vos missions? On va revenir à Monaco, mais c'est intéressant de savoir un petit peu votre parcours parce qu'on vous découvre dans le football français.
Yeah, for sure. I think people talks a lot about Red Bull's ideas, Red Bull principles. For me, ideas belongs to people, and then people has the power to influence the organization more or less. So I was part of Red Bull in a cycle where Ralf Rangnick was a strong influence on the way we should play football, on the kind of players we should recruit. Not only me, we have other examples as Christoph Freund in Bayern Munich nowadays. I'm at Monaco. Christoph Vivel is now working for Manchester United. So some of us had the chance to grow there. I'm Brazilian. I always liked an offensive football, like developing players is part of the DNA of my country as well. So actually it was a very good combination. I was very pleasure to have the chance to work for Red Bull for so many years in Brazil. I was leading everything in South America for the point of searching the club. We bought a club in Brazil, Bragantino. We developed this club from 2nd division level to play Libertadores, developing a lot of players and winning. So it's not only about developing the players, it's winning games with young players and developing them also. And we were able to do this in a good cycle in Bragantino. And again, Monaco has this on the DNA as well. So the history of Monaco is about offensive football, young players, players development. We are just organizing in a different way what Monaco used to do.
Justement, on parle de football offensif. On est obligé, Thiago Scuro, tout le monde parle de cette sensation. Mika Biereth qui a établi un record de buts depuis 75 ans. Quel est votre regard sur cette adaptation express, 3 triplés? Enfin, c'est vrai qu'on a la sensation d'avoir un nouveau grand buteur qui arrive en Ligue 1. C'est dingue.
Yes, I think it's not common, a player arriving on the winter especially and having an adaptation as quick as he had. Happens more often on summer when you have pre-season, you have more time. Mika arrived in the middle of the season. So first, the adaptation is thanks to his mindset, thanks to his mentality, how open he is to follow the process that the club proposed, to understand his teammates, to study the way we played football. Clearly, he showed the capacity to be a killer inside the box. He is. He was already showing this on his previous experience before Monaco. And also Monaco was, and we are, a club that creates a lot of chances. So the kind of football we play puts ourselves very often on the last third, puts ourselves a lot in the opponent's box. And it's not unusual that Monaco has 20-something finishes in a game. And again, was a perfect combination, bringing a guy that is a killer inside the box to complement a team that was already offensively producing a lot. And we are very happy that he's able to score the goals, and I hope that he keep doing until the end of the season and for the future of Monaco as well.
Parce que vous aviez déjà 3 attaquants, Georges Enikena qui est un jeune joueur, on a Brelem Bolo et on a malheureusement Falorin Balogun qui s'est blessé. Mais c'est vrai que bouger sur un attaquant au mercato hivernal, ça pourrait paraître surprenant, mais on a bien senti que Mika Biereth, quand il est arrivé assez tôt, il avait un temps de jeu assez vite, c'était une priorité.
Yes, it was a priority because of the injury of Balo. Was a bad surprise during the season, how long it's taking for him to be back. He's coming back now the next days, which we are very happy. But also it's about everything that we are always analyzing and studying our team. So clearly we needed someone on this position for the same reasons I already told you. Our efficiency on the last third was getting lower and lower. It's not easy to give the next step after 5 seasons with Wissam Ben Yedder, which is the story of Monaco. I think it's quite normal that there is some time for having a healthy transition. And the reality is that at the same point in the season, this season we scored more goals than last year, which shows that we could replace the goals that we had in the past with the players we have today. And that's it. It's our job to keep consistently analyzing ourselves and promoting solutions.
On aborde le sprint final en Ligue 1, 8 dernières journées, Monaco est 3e, il y a un match qui va arriver contre Nice, un derby qui s'annonce très chaud. Dans quel état d'esprit êtes-vous avant cette dernière étape du championnat?
Well, very positive, very positive. Again, we had a season like the last one with some moments where the performance was below our expectation. Which is always sensitive. We could manage this in a clever way, having everyone together, facing the problems and providing solutions in all directions, coaching staff, our head coach, the players. We never had doubts on what we are doing and how we are doing. And now with a more smoothly calendar, which also changes a lot, 1 game per week, the squad we have, the quality we have with our playing principles, we are very positive for the last run, not only against Tunis, but all the games we have in front of us. We need to collect a lot of points because this season we have much more competition on the top of the table compared to last season. More clubs invested a lot, more clubs are also working well. But we do believe in what we are doing and we are ready for the last run.
Cette saison a été aussi riche en émotions avec le parcours en Ligue des Champions. Il s'est passé beaucoup de choses, la victoire contre Barcelone, ce barrage contre Benfica, on va sans doute y revenir. Mais est-ce que vous pensez que le groupe est grandi avec? Parce que vous l'avez dit, l'objectif c'était de ramener Monaco en Ligue des Champions. Moi, on imagine que vous voulez aller peut-être plus loin que les barrages.
Yes, for sure. Guaranteeing the spot directly on the group stage changed a lot. I don't know how the people outside has the idea on this. Playing qualification for the sense of budget planning, squad planning, financially is a big impact in the club. So we are fully focused on top 3. which, as we did last year, guarantees us on the group stage. And again, that's it. We had the taste of Champions League this season. So when you try something that is very good, the ambition to do it again is even higher because you already felt the taste. You want that again. We want again to have big teams in front of us. We want again to listen to the music of Champions League before the games. We want to live this again. So this is our motivation for the end of this season and for the future of the club. Monaco needs to be on Champions League consistently from this season and keep going.
La nouvelle formule, vous avez apprécié de votre point de vue. C'est vrai que ça fait plus de matchs, mais peut-être des équipes qui étaient plus à la portée de clubs français comme Monaco, Lille, voire Brest, et la possibilité d'accéder à des tours suivants.
Oh, I told this before the competition start. For me, I was already congratulating the people that developed this and proposed it. For me, it's very good. After facing the games and playing the competition, I'm even more positive. I think UEFA did a great job on the way they found solutions to have more clubs, to provide more games, to allow clubs to face different opponents from different leagues, different countries. So again, well done for the one who developed this, and for sure, from now on, the fans will get more familiar with the format year by year, and the excitement will be only increasing. Was very nice the last day, everyone playing at the same time, going here and there, changing the table a lot, changing the one you're gonna face on the knockout. For me, was very positive.
Je suis obligé de vous poser la question, mais cette double confrontation contre Benfica en barrage, l'élimination, ce qui s'est passé avec l'arbitrage, le scénario, est-ce que vous avez digéré? Et je l'ai dit, ça va peut-être servir à l'effectif pour plus tard, mais c'est vrai que quand on l'a vécu sur le coup, c'était assez surprenant, la tournure des deux rencontres.
Well, I'm still think that we had all the conditions to go further. I don't see Benfica stronger than Monaco. I think we showed this during the 3 games that we had. Actually, we also played on the group stage. I don't want to jump on the referee topic because we don't control. We need to work on ourselves, making ourselves better. We could show our performance in a better level, especially on the first half at the Stade Louis II. We need to manage our emotions better also, because to avoid putting ourselves in situations where we have one player less. And I think we showed very, very good performance in Estádio da Luz. We could show that Monaco is a really young and very good team with a lot of qualities. But we need to learn with that game to manage the game better. We scored the goals, we conceded very quickly. We could never control the game a bit. I think we deserved much more than Benfica to go further. But football is not about what you deserve, it's about what you do, and we didn't. We hope to do next season.
Pour parler du coach, Adi Hütter, vous l'avez prolongé en cours de saison. J'ai bien aimé, vous avez parlé d'une comparaison avec le PSG et Luis Enrique. On a le sentiment qu'avec cet entraîneur-là, vous voulez vraiment vous inscrire sur du moyen, voire du long terme.
Yes, we started this project on the summer of 23 with a 2 seasons contract. After 1.5 seasons, we know each other. We know what we are building. I want to build consistency on the football project of AS Monaco. Having a coach that can stay longer is crucial for this, in my vision. I think maybe this was something that Monaco lacked in the past, changing coaches too often. This doesn't allow the organization to be stable. For me, it was a natural decision, was a natural move to do on the right moment. We take decisions not based on the circumstantial situations. It's much bigger and wider than this. But again, the judgment always will be there. If we didn't extend the contract, then the problem is because we didn't extend and the contract will be expired in the summer. If we extend the contract, the problem is because we extend the contract. So actually, we cannot care too much about this. We have to care about the football project, what we believe, and what we are building for the future of the club.
Justement, ce projet à Monaco, on a parlé de la jeunesse un peu plus haut, entre le recrutement et les talents de l'académie. On a le sentiment que c'est vraiment le cœur de l'AS Monaco, avec aussi le centre d'entraînement qui est assez récent. J'imagine que pour un dirigeant de football, c'est évidemment l'idéal pour travailler.
Yes, we have very top facilities. This is a strong legacy of our president, investing on the training ground for the first team in La Turbie. But also our academy has top conditions on La Diagonale. These allow us to work on players' development in a very high level. As you mentioned, yeah, the academy is crucial for our success. The history of Monaco is connected to this as well. So many legends of the game started their steps in AS Monaco. Thierry Henry, David Trezeguet, Thuram, Mbappé, and so many others. So it's not so bad. Huh? It's a very, very nice list of players. And now we want to develop the next ones. I think this season we have 6 players fixed on the first team squad coming from the academy. For sure, Magnus Akliouche and Elias Ben-Seghir are the biggest players that calls the attention by playing on the offensive side with a lot of skills with the ball. But Songo Magassa is also a very top talented player which played several games, scored goals on Champions League, and so many others, and more to come. We invest a lot on our academy. We trust on players' development, not only signing from outside, but especially being developed in our club.
Justement, vous avez parlé de Magnus Akliouche. On a senti une vraie évolution de sa part cette saison. Il a pris de plus en plus de responsabilités. C'était peut-être aussi votre objectif en tant que directeur général de pouvoir accompagner ce type de jeunes joueurs vers certains sommets, que ce soit en Ligue 1 ou en Ligue des Champions?
Yeah, for sure. It's beautiful to see him. A boy that arrived at a very early stage in Monaco, could educated himself as a person, as a player. Magnus has a very challenging path because the transition from youth to first team was hard for him. Took like around 3 years. Nowadays, everyone has the expectation that young players step on the first team and play as magic. It's not like this. So Magnus was very resilient himself on his side. The club was very trustable on his talent. Was not only about me or Adi, but people before us that trusted that he could make the steps. And seeing him every day becoming better and growing, and now becoming a topic for French national team, for example, making big games on Champions League. Yeah, there is no limit for a player with his talent and with his mindset. He can go much higher than he is nowadays, in my opinion, clearly.
Justement, sur cette formation, Monaco a la particularité d'avoir un groupe élite. Est-ce que vous pouvez déjà, peut-être pour les gens qui ne connaissent pas, nous expliquer quel est le principe? C'est une équipe de jeunes U21 qui participe notamment à la Première Ligue International Cup. On voudrait savoir un petit peu pourquoi avoir insisté sur cette équipe qui n'est pas forcément que en France pour jouer des compétitions nationales.
Yes, it's a very interesting approach. Like basically is a platform to make the transition from youth to professional football. There is big differences on the game, but basically it's the adaptation on the physicality of the game, on the intensity. When you play U19 football, is kids against kids. When you go for professional football, doesn't matter how old you are, you're gonna face men. And this changes a lot. It's normal to need adaptation. IDG is a group created to provide the players this transition before stepping in our first team. Some of those players has the capacity to go through quickly from the U19 to the first team. I would say Elias Ben-Seghir did this, was very quickly to be ready to be there. But this is not normal. The normal process is that the players needs the step. So IDG is a group that has full support like the first team. Coaching staff, head coach, technical coordinator, shares the same training ground as the first team. They can see the first team players every day. They use the same gym, the same restaurant, the same facilities. We play Premier League Cup, as you mentioned, and during the season, because of the lack of competition we have for this stage in France, we provide them a lot of friendly games, mostly against professional teams. We play against Ligue 2 clubs from other countries. Basically, we control the kind of stimulation they will have for this development. And then step by step, they have chances to train in our first team. And some of them goes quickly for the match list because Adi is consistently following him. One of the assistant coaches of Adi has also the duty to keep the eyes on the IDG group, following everything that happens there. And now we have the new generation coming, Lucas Michel, which already got some minutes, Simon Boabreu, which is also another talented player that we believe, Nibombe, the central defender. And this is a process, it's not an act. preparing a player to play professional football on Monaco's level, it's a process that we are managing.
Justement, dans cette équipe première, pour accompagner ces jeunes joueurs, il y a toujours besoin de cadres. On a vu un Denis Zakaria. Moi, je voulais peut-être vous poser la question par rapport à Thilo Kehrer, que vous avez recruté, qui est même devenu capitaine de l'AS Monaco. On connaît sa qualité, son vécu, le PSG, West Ham, Schalke, la sélection allemande. Pourquoi avoir particulièrement ciblé Thilo Kehrer?
Well, talking individually about Thilo was last winter, where clearly we needed a central defender to make our squad more stable. We faced the challenge of having 7 players away for African Cup and Asian Cup. And Thilo brought leadership coming from Premier League, very strong personality, top guy on ethical work. He's a very good example for the young boys to see a performance player like him taking care in details about his nutrition, his preparation, his game understanding. He's one of our leaders with Denis Zakaria and Mbolo today. So we need this mix. We need this mix. We need performance players like Thilo, like Dennis, like Caio, like Jordan Tesi. For us, is also a performance player. Like Mbolo, Golo, Minamino. And this combination with the young and energetic players that we have, we believe on this formula for the success. That's why we are always looking for both profiles very carefully.
De manière plus générale, si on parle un tout petit peu de Ligue 1, qu'est-ce qui vous a impressionné le plus dans ce championnat? On parle parfois de la Ligue des talents pour voilà, cette jeunesse, on évoque aussi l'intensité, l'impact physique. Vous, de votre point de vue, qui regardez tous les matchs, qui scrutez ça un petit peu, de votre regard, c'est quoi qui vous a un petit peu interpellé?
Well, for me, clearly it's an underestimated league globally. This is something that we should work better. I'm already putting myself as part of French football, even though I'm a foreign, but I feel like this. I'm also the owner of this, and it's a very nice asset. It's the second most physical league in the world, only behind the Premier League. This is not about opinion, it's about data. A lot of young, talented players being promoted. Was very surprising to me. I didn't have this clarity before coming. The stadiums and how the cities are strongly behind the clubs. Wherever you're gonna play away is very nice, it's amazing. The whole city going to the stadium, stadiums are full, supporting 90 minutes, leaving the game. And for being a very physical and young league, makes the game very exciting. Like how many games we have goals on the last 5-10 minutes, every time clubs are trying to attack in general. Who is not attacking is already prepared for counter-attacking because it's also a counter-attacking league. For me, we should promote and show better our game. Our game is very good, and we are now starting a process to discuss how can we make our league better organized, French football stronger, everyone together working for that. I'm very positive that we can have a good outcome on this.
C'est bien que vous évoquiez ça parce que c'est mon avant-dernière question, justement, comment améliorer davantage ce championnat? Il y a eu beaucoup de débats sur les droits télé, la gestion de la diffusion de la Ligue 1. De votre point de vue, comment est-ce qu'on peut attirer peut-être encore plus de monde?
Oh, first thing for me is self-esteem. Like this is a bit similar to Brazil. We like to criticize ourselves, and this is not clever. So if we can put an approach where we see more what we have as a good, we try to show more our positivity than our negative sides. For me, is the first thing. Because it's about also the storytelling, how can we show the things in a positive way. And then, of course, working to distribute better the games, working to find a better organization around the pitch, around the league, setting the right days and times that we can play, managing the calendar in a way that clubs playing European competitions have conditions to put their best team on the pitch. Sometimes it's not the case because of TV needs, because of sponsor needs. If we put the game and the product above everything else, for me, we have a lot of potential to be explored. And I'm trying to be part of this, trying to contribute for the growth of French football because we're supposed to be in a better position now instead of criticizing ourselves every day for problems that everybody has actually. But we also have a lot of positive things.
Pour terminer, une question de passionné à passionné. Vous avez évoqué quelques grands noms dans l'histoire de Monaco, Henry, Trezeguet, Mbappé. Est-ce que vous, personnellement, Thiago Scuro, vous avez un joueur préféré dans l'histoire de l'AS Monaco ou un joueur qui vous a impressionné plus jeune?
Oh, it's very hard to appoint only one. Huh? You mentioned some of them, like of course he as a player, what he did is amazing. Of course that I remember because he smashed Brazil a few times, especially on the World Cup confront, which France I think beat Brazil twice, since I'm following directly. I think that Monaco is not only about one player, one person. Monaco is about the principality, about everything that we represent. Is about the jersey La Diagonale created by Princess Grace, which is very iconic. Everywhere you go, all over the world, people recognize the jersey La Diagonale as AS Monaco. And all the players, coaches like Arsene Wenger, that is going to be here tomorrow with us, like Didier Deschamps. For me, the history of this club is too big and too relevant to point one player or one person. I think a lot of people did a lot to make AS Monaco great as it is, and we hope to keep working strongly to protect this heritage and building our cycle here.
Et bien voilà, c'est sur ces belles paroles sur l'histoire grandiose de l'AS Monaco que s'achève cette interview. Merci beaucoup, Thiago Scuro, d'avoir été avec nous.
Merci à vous, avec plaisir.
Et puis on se souhaite une très très bonne fin de saison avec, comme je l'ai dit, ces 8 dernières journées en Ligue 1. Et puis merci à vous d'avoir suivi cette interview. Je vous dis à très vite les amis. Salut!